What's up guys, welcome back. I think you probably already have seen it. The OCG list is already quote-unquote released, leaked for October 1st, 2015. So here is our TCG list. Again, you know that here Konami Europe, Konami in the TCG already decided not to release the list at a particular date, so they can release it whenever they want, which is something I don't really like it. I don't really like it that much. It leaves a player base in somewhat a void. We don't know when we actually can expect or get our new TCG list. But again, this is the OCG list for October 1st, 2015. Again, less relevant for players in the TCG, but I still think it's interesting to see how the OCG metagame develops and how players are making up their decks and so on, and strategies, you know. So before we start out, so let's take a look at the metagame in the OCG. So this is still for August 2015. We know that Performages and Pals, you know, Flame Mascots, all the clowns and so on, was or is dominating the scene. Pretty much in August, about 62% were Performages and Pals of all the top cut decks, and that's huge. That's completely dominating the metagame. And on place number 2 and 3 we both had heroes, with Stratos still legal and Shadow Mist and so on. Heroes again fully focused on those rank 4 exceeds, and of course Dark Law. And at place number 3 we had the Atlanteans, so with Atlantean Prince and artifacts also very important in the OCG, with Ignition possibly destroying the Pendulum Scales, which is of course very huge against a deck like Pendulum Magicians or Performages and Pals. And of course Atlantean Prince boosts up OTK plays, and Diva was also at 3. At place number 4 we had Nekroz. Kind of strange, Nekroz is here in the TCG one of the more popular decks, but only sitting at about 8% of the top cut decks, and that's not a lot. And at place number 5 the Magicians, the Pendulum Magicians, completely got dominated by Performages back in August, only sitting at 4%. This includes also Major Spectre Magicians, so it's not a lot. And for the last 4%, it's the quote-unquote rogue decks. Satellanites, Shadals and so on, Infernoids, Glyfords, and many more decks. So to conclude this, what should we expect from the new OCG banlist? That Performages and Pals should be completely crippled, like maybe Flame Mascot should hit, or the Performages engine, you know, the exceeds are very important cards like Shockmaster, Infinity, Ptolemaeus and so on, again to kinda balance out the format. So here of course is the OCG list, and 2 new forbidden cards are Noden and Ptolemaeus. Noden is of course, but Noden is a very good card, of course, boosting up those rank 4 exceeds. One of the best strategy currently in the OCG. Pretty much every deck is based on rank 4 exceeds. Performages and Pals, like for example, is one of the best decks over there, completely dominating the scene. So, and I don't think they were running Noden, so hit on Noden doesn't surprise me at all. But Ptolemaeus is definitely a right hit, indirectly hitting Cyber Dragon Infinity. But as you probably already have seen, Cyber Dragon Infinity wasn't really main decked in the latest Performages and Pals deck lists, since as you know, Laval Chain is still legal. Shockmaster, a lot of players are main decking Shockmaster over Infinity, and at the same time Infinity with Nova took up a lot of extra deck space, and with only 15 cards, that's probably a bit too much. So that's why Infinity was probably seeing less play in Performages and Pals. But the 2 new forbidden cards, both Noden and Ptolemaeus, are definitely great hits for the OCG. Very cute here, as Noden is currently released in the TCG and is still at 3. Anyway, so newly limited for OCG, Shadow Mist. So heroes got a hit. Shadow Mist is currently, or at least with the new list, is Shadow Mist at 1. So that's kinda a big hit for heroes, but Stratos is also still at 1 in the OCG. But yeah, Shadow Mist at 1 is definitely a big hit for heroes over there, since heroes is currently about the second popular deck over there. Bulb is limited to 1, alright, fine, and Insight Magician. So Magicians got a hit with Insight. Insight Magician is a searcher, you know. If you have another Magician in your Pendulum scale, you can destroy your own Insight, set it up in your Pendulum, set it up in your extra deck, and get a search for any Magician, tutor any Magician you want in your Pendulum zone. So hitting Insight, okay, yeah, I can understand that. Deep Sea Diva is a hit that should have happened a long time ago. It's also at 1 here in the TCG, but you know, Mermills, or at least Atlanteans, as you saw previously here in the video, is currently, or at least for August, was the third more popular represented deck in a top cut. So hitting Diva 2-1 definitely hits the Atlantean Prince, which is currently at 3, of course, since it's the OCG promo. Nekroz also got a hit again. Shurit, Strategist of Nekroz, is again hit. Is also hit in the OCG. I think it's also at 1 here in the TCG, so it's definitely a hit that we can understand. But Nekroz only sitting at place number 4 in the OCG metagame. Then a newly semi-limited Curry Bandit. We know, I think it was a few formats ago that Shaddolls got a huge hit in the OCG with Construct Band, Curry Bandit, and Mathematician to 1. If I'm not mistaken, Sinister Shadow Games also was put to 1. So yeah, Curry Bandit back to 2 is definitely something I definitely understand. Abyssteus, again after a few years. Mermails are getting more and more support back in the OCG. Gust Kraken, the insane evil Gishki, Gust Kraken hand loop, you know, with Hieretics and so on. So Gust Kraken is back at 2. Then very nice here, Mind Control and Book of Moon. Book of Moon is also at 2. It's Book of Moon I'm definitely a fan of, going back to 2, since it's a very versatile card, both defensive and offensive. And Burning Abyss is also being released in the OCG now, very soon. And Book of Moon is also very great against that deck. Charge of the Light Brigade back at 2 in the OCG, alright, fine. Gold Sarcophagus also back at 2. So Gold Sarcophagus is also back to 2. Allure of Darkness, alright, fine. Dragon Shrine, and here Gateway of the Six, semi-limited. It's like, you know, the OCG currently is a lot more powerful, quote-unquote powerful, compared to the TCG, since, you know, Konami in the TCG is more like, okay, we have a powerful deck, maybe we are going to hit that, make it a bit more balanced. But in the OCG, they just say, fuck it, fuck this, let's not hit the most powerful deck, Performages and Pals, because let's face it, Performages and Pals really didn't get a hit with this list, and they are basically saying that, let's not hit the best deck, but let's make the other decks much more powerful as well. For example here, Six Samurai with Gateway of the Six, and we all know how broken Gateway of the Six is, and how a kind of field you can spam out with Gateway and United. I hope Gateway is still stays banned in a TCG. Sinister Shadow Games, same with Curry Bandit, back to 2, and Crush Card. Crush Card is also a card back at 2 in the OCG with the errata. Not as great, not as powerful OP it was before the errata, but still it's a very good card, and interesting to see, because again, Burning Abyss are going to be released in the OCG, so it's definitely going to be interesting to see how big of an impact Crush Card is going to have at 2. Then newly unlimited Bubbleman is back at 3. Kinda understandable. Stratos is still at 1, but as you know, Shadow Mist got a hit 2-1, so Bubbleman at 3 is understandable. Honest. Wow, Honest at 3 is... I don't know. Honest at 3 is... Honest is a dangerous card. I mean, BLS is still at 1, and you know how OP BLS Honest is. I mean, it's a card that can steal games. Both Honest and BLS can steal the games on their own, and Honest at 3 is very, very dangerous. And Emperor, Chaos Emperor Dragon, Envoy of the End is back at 3. It's like... 12 years? 12 years after the card got hit 2-1 and eventually banned. Chaos Emperor is back at 3. Yeah, of course, Chaos Emperor is not as good with the new errata. But it's still, it's still very easy to summon. You only need to banish 1 light and 1 dark from your grave to get a free 3k beatstick on board. And yeah, that's definitely something not to underestimate. Demok, Magician of Chaos back at 3, which is something I understand. With the new errata again, the card is a lot weaker, is crippled. Yeah, crippled, you only get the effect in the end phase, so it lost a lot of its power. Gale back to 3, alright. Mind you, the same back at 3, kinda a boost again for Nekroz, but they lost Shuret to 1. Formula Synchron is also quite good at 3, and Zen Mighty also back at 3. Again, for the TCG, Zen Mighty is banned, but at 3 in the OCG. And very important, I think windups have everything back in the OCG. You can correct me if I'm wrong, my apologies if I'm wrong, but I think, yeah, windup Shark, Zen Mighty, Magician is also at 3, I think. So yeah, windups are pretty much at full force again in the OCG. And Shockmaster is still legal, so it's going to be interesting to see what kind of an impact that's going to have. Instant Fusion back at 3, yeah, Noden is banned, so why not? Magical Stone Excavation back at 3, alright, same with Transmigration Prophecy and Bottomless Trap Hole, the last card here, back at 3. Very interesting since Rafflesia, you know, the new rank 4 Exceed, the new Trap Tricks Exceed Rafflesia that can send whole trap cards from your deck to the grave to use their effects. It's very interesting. I mean, of course, maybe this is somewhat an answer from Konami OCG to give, or at least, yeah, to somewhat combat the new Performages and Pals, since, you know, Bottomless Trap Hole is very good against pendulum-based decks. Banish all of those monsters instead of sending them back to the extra deck. So Bottoms at 3 is definitely an interesting choice of Konami over there. So yeah, this is the OCG ban list. Definitely, yeah, a few cards definitely interesting, like Ptolemaeus Noden band. Definitely understand that. But yeah, Crush card back at 2, Chaos Emperor back at 3, Bottomless at 3 are a few, yeah, definitely a few interesting choices. So guys, if you have any opinions about the list, I don't know when we are getting our new TCG list, but I hope we are getting it soon. Yeah, just to, again, keep the format fresh and healthy. Okay guys, that's it. Thanks for watching, and feel free to leave a comment or a like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.